Hey, Student Success. This is your week 16, very last session. So this is meant for Wednesday, May 6th, although I'm recording it about a week ahead of time, just so that any of you who want to get done early can get done early. So due by May 6th was week 15 stuff, which was your chapter 3 journal and your how well do you study survey. So many of you have already submitted that. You're working ahead, so that's already done. So I want to just real quickly share my screen, talk about a few things, and then kind of wrap things up to kind of say goodbye since we are finishing the semester already. Even though part of it seemed to go slow, I feel like all of a sudden we're here and it's crazy that we're already done. Okay. All right, and there's those 500 windows again. All right, so going to go into our course, into lessons, and you'll see here shortly, I'm going to open up week 16 so you can see it. But first I'll remind you, if you haven't already, week 14, all the weeks are still open. So really, I will accept work from week 9 on. Most of you are caught up, but if you have anything from week 9 moving forward, I will still accept it. Basically anything from when we came back from break and transitioned to online. I will take anything from those weeks. I know a lot of you are working a lot and like schedules are different, so you're not necessarily working week by week, you're playing catch up or whatever the case is. I will still take those assignments just to make sure your grade can still have that passing, A, B, C grade. All right, so week 15, remember, if you haven't already, please make sure that you submit exercise 5.3, which is a problem-solving worksheet, and then your journal number 9 over chapter 5. So make sure you submit both of those. Now, this week, as we finish everything up, is over chapter 10. So chapter 10, I already have the PowerPoint pulled up. I'll just kind of real quickly talk to you about it. It's about working in groups and valuing diversity, being aware of emotional intelligence, communication with people, being aware and respecting the diversity, and just being, kind of cognizant of globalization, which I think we're starting to, during this pandemic, become a little bit more aware of. So it talks about emotional intelligence, how you are able to both deal with your own emotions as well as read the emotions of others. And so it goes through these 5 scales of emotional intelligence and kind of little tips and tricks on how to deal with those things and how can we improve our emotional intelligence. So we can take assessment tools kind of like we do for our learning style surveys. We can talk to people, be patient with ourselves, and get input from others on how we do. Then it goes into communicating in groups. So some of you are not fans of this, others of you don't mind. So chapter 10 will go through like why is it important to learn in groups. So we do learn from each other. It's a bigger pool of knowledge, so to speak. Everyone can participate in a smaller group than maybe a larger group, so that's why you break down. You can generate ideas through diversity. So there's lots of pros to working in groups. I know some people think right to the negatives, but there are some pros to working in groups. And so here's like the top 10 list of kind of setting ground rules. So if you're working in a group, if you can set these ground rules, it can help you kind of be a little bit more efficient, making sure everyone is clear, set the rules. Remember to make sure that you're using your strengths and help others and kind of, again, work together. Along with that, it talks about different ways to manage conflict, which will oftentimes come up when you're working in group settings. And then it ends with the kind of understanding different cultures and having that respect and appreciation of that diversity. So that is chapter 10. I encourage you to spend a little bit more time in it. So you were doing 2 assignments for chapter 10, week 16. You're going to take the cultural intelligence survey assessment, which is going to look like a couple other assessments you've done where it opens up into this box, and then you kind of and you go through and you answer some questions, and that's automatically graded. Please make sure you let these run all the way to the end, because if you cut it out early, it'll tell me you started it but did not finish, and it'll mark it as a 0. So make sure it runs all the way to the end. And then the other thing you are doing is your very final journal. It's journal number 10 over chapter 10. So you'll see a story in there about Serena Jackson, and you're going to either choose the insight or the action. So remember, I know this is our very last journal, but I'm still having people kind of confused on how the journals are supposed to be working. So if you choose the insight, you go back to Serena's case and you kind of look and see, what did you learn in this chapter and what are some outcomes for Serena? What should she have done? What could she do? Don't just summarize the issue. Give some solutions, give an ending. Now, if you're doing the action, there are 3 questions that you'll address. So you choose one of those and then you'll just submit that. So that is your work for week 16. I'm sharing. I'm going to pop back in here quick. So I just want to say, obviously this is not the semester that any of us envisioned, and I was very sad to kind of have it cut short in terms of our face-to-face talking collaboration time. But I do want to commend you all for sticking in with it. It's not been an easy situation. We're all dealing with different things at home with family and kids and work. And so it's made things very challenging, but we really are able at this time to try to practice adaptability and flexibility and determination. So maybe silver lining, I don't know. But I do just want to say how proud I am of everyone for sticking with it, for working, for doing your best job, and just let me know if you ever need anything. I'm going to be here during the summer, and by here I mean online. Everything's online this summer. And then in the fall, fingers crossed, we will be back face-to-face. So always feel free to pop in my office, say hello, reach out if you need anything. Okay, I hope everyone is doing well and you have a great summer. I will hopefully see you on campus soon.